I'm so sorry again for the wrong intro. Oh my god. Okay. Now, all right, guys. Let me check my live if I'm actually doing all right because today I'm using a new mic, and it's not a new mic. I actually bought it for a long time. It's just that I never really kind of like used it to really run my live. I just want to kind of like probably make this a practice, make this a habit moving forward that I'll be using um, this mic to do my thing right now. Okay, now just give it a while as I look at my live streaming. For some reason, it's actually a bit slow. Do you guys see that? Um, yeah, it's a bit. Wait, hang on. I'm not seeing my live coming up. Okay. Yeah, I think it's live. Okay. I'm just gonna cut it off. So the first 1 minute you can actually avoid. I'm so sorry. All right. Welcome back to the Ask Me Anything Sunday session. I have been doing this for 85 weeks now. So this is where I go live answering your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. And essentially, all you need to do is just go to my YouTube channel and post your questions. I mean, first thing first, try to search for some of my past answers to your question, if there is something like that. Okay. Um, if not, you can actually post any questions you have. You can actually post any questions you have on any YouTube videos I have, and I will be bringing them over and answer them on Sunday night like this. Okay, so this is a promise. This is a deal. This is how we're gonna do this together. So any questions? Yeah, any questions regarding Facebook advertising and digital marketing? It's perfectly okay, and your questions are welcome. Right. So I really think I want to talk about Cpas. Okay, now Cpas, if you're not familiar, it's called collaboration product advertising solution. Okay, it's essentially a way that you can actually run ads to do retargeting and a lot more things for your Shopee or Lazada store. So CPAS is really the most important solution if you're selling on Shopee or Lazada and you're not having CPAS. I would strongly recommend that you try to contact anyone you know from the marketplaces and try to get access to that. Why? Because okay, you see, just like that. I mean, you have a normal Shopee store. Let's take Shopee. I mean, I'm just not gonna like jumble things up already. Like, let's say if you have a normal Shopee store and you don't have CPAS access, and if you use Facebook ads to drive traffic to your Shopee store, the challenge would be when a person goes over to your Shopee store, you lost that data, because essentially if you don't have CPAS, you will be able to collect information or so-called the action that is taken on Facebook, whereby if they see your ad, watch your video, click on your ad on Facebook itself, but when they go over to your Shopee store, whether they take action or not, you have no idea. You have no data. You can't. Okay, so what's the big deal or when you don't have such data? First thing first, you do not know if your ads really drive you any conversion, because you won't be able to attribute. That's the first thing, because there is no attribution because there's a disconnection, right? So the second thing is you will not be able to do retargeting, because here's the essential point. Okay, when you run ads on Facebook and when you're driving new people to your Shopee store, all right, 95% of people, I would say maybe even up to 99% of people, when they are first new to your Shopee store, they would not buy from you in the first place. They may actually browse around, add something to cart, but they may not buy because they don't know you yet, or probably they are interested in the product, but actually they are taking some time. And the downfall about marketplace, one of the cons about marketplace is it's very easy for them to start browsing other sellers' product that are actually the same as yours. So they would go over and compare prices and then to compare reviews and all that. So this is where you kind of like need to really capture this data, know who are these people. I mean, of course, essentially you won't be able to know who are they, but you need to actually build CPAS you need CPAS for you to do effective retargeting, because CPAS will allow you to do effective retargeting based on people who actually browse any single products or categories of products. And then you'll be able to know if they actually browse or did not purchase, or add cart or did not purchase. When you're able to have all these data in place, you'll be able to do more effective retargeting. So that's something that I strongly recommend any Shopee sellers or marketplace sellers, okay, to have that. Yeah, so I believe I actually work on it with sellers from Shopee sellers, Lazada sellers, Tokopedia sellers, and a lot of local marketplaces that actually have that. I think most of the marketplace would have it, but I'm not sure about Amazon. So you just have to go and check it out from them. So remember, just go over and ask for Cpas, collaborative, what do we call product advertising solution. Essentially, what happened when you have Cpas is, Shopee would actually build a product catalog based on all your products on your Shopee store and share that over and connect it with your Facebook business manager. And then you'll be able to connect it with your Facebook ad account, which from there on, you'll be able to do retargeting in a more effective way. I would say it's most effective way. Okay, you can actually do all this retargeting, upselling, cross-selling, and even one of a very important strategy is you need to actually start nurturing your customers. Because here's the thing, one thing we need to really focus on is to increase the lifetime value, because a person who buys once are more likely to buy again because they have bought from you, they have the experience with you, they know that you're trustworthy, and it's a lot easier to sell to them again. So that's something that you have to pay attention to. The reason why I bring this up because in the past 1 week or two, I actually onboarded a few coaching clients who are actually Shopee sellers. And I get to revisit all these strategies, and I actually look at their campaign. I actually found out a few things. And the reason why I want to actually bring this up in this episode is because I want to share with you some tips about CPAS advertising. But before that, right, just to do a quick public service announcement. No, this is really something that I am actually doing right now for the community. We call this very special rate for my one-on-one Facebook Ads Audit. Okay, for everyone who knows me, I actually offer one-on-one Facebook Ads Audit at $197, which is if you go over to my website, I'm offering it at half price, which is you can pay $97. Okay, and for me to come over, just go over Zoom to audit your Facebook ads, so-called your current Facebook ads campaign, and to give you actionable advice on how can you improve your Facebook ads so-called performance. Okay, if you want to go over to my website and buy, it's $97. But now, because I started building my Fiverr account, Fiverr, which is like marketplace for freelancers, experts, and service providers and whatnot. When I'm a new seller over there, in order to actually reach the level 1 or level 2, I need to level up, right? Okay, the first level I need to go is the level 1 seller, which is to be recognized as a more trustworthy one. I need to gather 10 orders or $400 in order gathered. So I need to actually gather this to start growing. And of course, most importantly, I want to grow my review and ratings. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm doing this offer, which is you're able to purchase. I would say it's not really a purchase, it's more like you're buying me a coffee, supporting my work, and get me to audit your Facebook ads campaign for $10 only. Okay, it's only $10. You'll be able to have half an hour with me, and we will go over your Facebook ads campaign, and I'm going to give you insights on how can you actually improve your ads performance. So it's a no-brainer deal, I would say. And I really want to thank all of you who have taken up the service and given me good rating. Thank you so much for that. And I think this is really something that I'm having fun as well, seriously. But because my time is pretty limited, I'm doing this offer for a very, very limited time only. So if you want me to look at your Facebook ads campaign and help you to improve your Facebook ads performance over this half an hour audit, scan this QR code or look at the link in the description, wherever you're watching this, and and sign up for a one-on-one audit for just $10 on Fiverr. I'm doing this because I'm building my Fiverr account, and I will take this offer down really, really soon. Okay, so just one of a public service announcement. I just want to make sure that you are aware of that. Now, the first topic I want to cover today is based on my past, actually audited a few Shopee CPAS account in the past 1 week, 1 week plus 2 weeks. Okay, because since we launched this, we have got a very supportive community, and I actually have not been touching Shopee for a while. And this time I come back and I realize there are a lot of mistakes, Shopee sellers are making especially when they are running Cpas Facebook ads. So I just want to quickly go over a few Cpas Facebook ads mistakes that you want to pay attention to if you have Cpas. I mean, I do hope you have, but if you don't, then search for my other videos to talk about how can we actually get Cpas. But if you have Cpas, these are the few mistakes you must avoid when you're running Cpas Facebook ads campaign for your Shopee or Lazada store or any marketplace store. Now, the first one is you do not want to advertise with no exclusion. You see, this is the biggest problem when you are running ads generally without knowing how to actually optimize. And you see, here's the thing. Here's the logic. If I've seen your ad, if I've clicked on the ad, okay, if I've visited your Shopee store and browsed your product, do you think I should stop seeing the original ad? You see, when you're running ads, you have to always remember you're actually targeting different category of people, but generally there must be an ad that is going out to target new people, to help you find new customer for your Shopee store. So this is what we call the broad targeting or the tier 1 campaign, or rather the top of funnel campaign, whatever you want to call it. So basically, this is a campaign that should constantly go out and help you meet and find new people who are potentially your customer. So first thing first, you need to actually start using exclusion, because if I've seen your ad, taken action on the ad, whether I have bought it or I have added to cart or I just browse your product on your store without taking much action, I have seen the very first ad. Because generally the first ad is usually more kind of like introductory, which is like, we get this at a very special rate, we are actually kind of like whatever, just buy now. So it's very introductory. So the advertisement itself should be more like on the surface. So basically, you want to exclude these people, because the next time I see back this advertisement, I'm very not likely to take the same action again. You get what I mean? Because to me, I've seen it. My brain, although it's kind of like vague, but in a way, we would realize, we kind of know that, I've seen this before. I would not take the same action. I would not actually do it again, because especially product-based is actually very easy to remember. So that's the first thing. Because by applying exclusion, meaning that you must exclude people who have added to cart or visited your store or stuff like that, by applying exclusion, you are able to make sure that your ad are constantly reaching new people. And this is very important, because you want this to actually have a very strong top of funnel inflow audience coming into your business. So that's one thing you must actually do. So exclusion is the key. Okay. And then the next thing here is, yes, you need to do retargeting. Now, what I want to talk about here is the second mistake a lot of Cpas, Facebook ads advertisers make is they actually advertise with the wrong retargeting strategy. Now, I've actually seen this. For some reason, I understand some marketplaces actually advise you to retarget for 180 days, because that's the maximum you can go for retargeting. For Pixel or mobile SDK, these are all the things that you can install on your website or your mobile app, which essentially for Shopee is mobile SDK and website all combined. When you do retargeting, the maximum duration you can go over for this kind of custom audience is 180 days. And if you go for 180 days, just imagine, I just want to paint you the picture. If let's say, for example, if you sell a pen, for example, I see the pen, I like the pen, I like the design and all that, I click and I go over to your Shopee store and I don't buy. Okay, assuming that I am actually considering whether to buy from you or someone else. Now, my question to you is, how long do you think I need to consider whether I should buy this pen from you or your competitor? So this is really something you have to consider. The conversion window is the key that you need to consider, which is conversion window for e-commerce. Actually, I would say usually is within 3 to 7 days. Now, let me give you another example. Yeah, you know what is a conversion window for a mobile phone? It's a smartphone. Okay, I actually work with one of the largest smartphone retailers in Malaysia. They spend, I think, tens of thousands every day on Facebook advertising. So, when I spoke to them, when I try to understand the business model, they say that usually for mobile phone purchase, the conversion window is actually within 48 hours. Can you imagine that? 48 hours, which is like under 2 days. You know why? Because when you want to buy a phone, you need a phone yesterday, not tomorrow. You need it now, because nowadays human can't live without smartphone. So that's the thing. You actually have to understand your business. What is your conversion window? And when you do retargeting, you want to optimize it for the conversion window. So I would say 180 days retargeting is a key. Why? Because first thing first, people will not take that long to retarget. Okay. So if you follow them for 180 days, essentially means if I come and see your product and I don't buy, I will see this retargeting ad for 6 months, my friend. Okay. One thing, if you keep seeing an ad for 6 months, you'll hate the brand for sure. Agree? Now, the second thing is, if you run ads to a person for 180 days and retarget them for 180 days, you are technically burning money for no reason. So this is not a very sound strategy. So that's something that you want to actually consider. All right. But yes, some people say that, hey, what about those who purchase? Now, that's another strategy. That's another strategy. You see, another strategy that you can actually apply is, yes, you should actually do customer nurturing, which means, let's say, for example, yes, you are able to gather those people who bought from your store, on your Shopi store, if you have Cpas, up to 180 days. Okay, so when you do this kind of retargeting, you want to run different set of ads. You want to tell them that, hey, you want to run it maybe on a periodical basis and say that, okay, this month we have this promotion and it's only for 7/7, or it's only for 8/8 or something like that. So this kind of retargeting is more on nurturing your past customers to first increase the lifetime value, second to build brand loyalty one way. So that's something that you want to consider, really. So yeah, you want to actually make sure that you are actually having the right retargeting strategy. First, not retargeting for too long for those who have not bought. But second thing is you want to do retargeting for those who actually bought, which is a nurturing strategy. All right. So that's the second thing. Now, the third thing I want to highlight here is because based on my observation, I kind of realize a lot of people are sticking to the old strategy, which is, I'm not saying that it's old. It's just that this is the recommended strategy by marketplaces. Because usually for Shopi and Lazada, when you get Cpas, they will give you some education about how you can actually run Cpas ads in a more effective way according to them. So what they will usually do is they will usually get you to do a kind of like a collection ad, which is, the kind of ad that actually have a video, and then after that have some product at the bottom. And when they click, they open up a collection, which is like, we call it the instant experience, which is like a mini landing page on Facebook where people would actually get to browse some of the items before they decide whether they want to go over to your Shopi store or not. So a lot of people are still using this. Now, I'm not saying that this strategy doesn't work, but I want you to actually dig deeper on the data and see whether are you wasting some clicks. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, based on my observation, a lot of actually, like for example, let's say you get 1,000 clicks on your advertisement. Now, when they open up the instant experience, maybe 1,000 of them open up like instant experience. Based on my observation, okay, most brands lose up to maybe at least 40 to 50% of this audience at the instant experience or collection page, which means when they click and they start browsing those products that you actually build up in the instant experience on Facebook, and they found out like, I can't really find the product that I want, and they don't go over to your Shopi store. That's a waste, you see. So because essentially, yes, collection or instant experience gives you that kind of like a different kind of experience when you're running ads. It makes it feel like, oh wow, very professional. You had it lined up, but it's also a friction. A friction means it's an additional step that people can actually and kind of like it's kind of like a second thought, like what do we call second thought opportunity, and they will drop out. They might drop out. When they don't go over to your Shopi store, then you won't be able to trigger your Cpas ads, you see. So you got to really plan this very carefully. That's why just some suggestions for you to actually ponder, yeah. So if you have been using collection ads, try to dig in and look at whether are you having actually all these numbers drop. And you should try using single image or even carousel advertisement, which, okay, by clicking, you want to lead them directly to your Shopi store. That's the whole idea. You want to reduce the friction and make sure you send as many people to your Shopi store, right into your Shopi store as possible. So that's the whole strategy. But of course, some of you might be asking, oh, how am I supposed to look at all this data? Now, here's the thing, okay? Because I'm actually building my Fiverr profile, I'm offering my one-on-one Facebook Ads Audit, okay, for $10 only, which means by paying $10, you will have me to come over to look at your Facebook ads campaign, over via Zoom, of course. to help you analyze your existing Facebook ads performance and to give you an action plan about how you can actually improve your Facebook ads performance. So I'm doing this because I'm building my profile. I usually charge $197 for this. You can go to my website and check it out. But for now, scan this QR code or find a link. You'll be able to do this, for just $10. And this offer will end very, very soon. Make sure you grab this. Okay, so that's the tips I have for you about Cpas Facebook ads mistakes to avoid. Remember, first thing first, you want to apply exclusion. Second, you want to revisit your retargeting strategy to make sure that you have a sound one. And instead of constantly using the collection or instant experience, you should actually consider trying single image or even carousel to reduce the friction, okay, between Facebook and Shopi. Make sure you send as many people onto your Shopi store as possible, because that's the most important way for you to optimize your outcome. Okay, so that's the mistakes to avoid. Now, the second topic I want to cover over here is I want to actually quickly share with you the Cpas Facebook ad strategy for 2022 and beyond. You see, I've been working with Cpas sellers, Cpas Facebook advertisers, or Shopi and Lazada sellers since 2018, I think. Cpas actually has been around for quite a while, and I started working with some Shopi sellers since 2018. And over the years, I actually kind of see the shift of strategy. But a lot of people are still pretty stuck with the old strategy. That's why I want to quickly share with you the latest strategy that you should be considering for your Shopi store, for your Cpas Facebook ads campaign in 2022 and beyond. Now, the first thing first is you want to actually build a balanced strategy between new and old customers. Now, here's the thing. Usually, when we use our two-step funnel framework, we will actually separate our budget for like 80% to go on, broad targeting, or we call it the user or new customer acquisition, which is like we will spend 80% of our budget to bring in new people into our funnel, and we will spend 20% on retargeting. However, when you're doing Shopi, you want to do a different approach over here. You probably want to consider spending 60% on new customer, 20% on retargeting, and 20% on nurturing past customers, because this is very important. Now, moving forward, actually, since 2021 and 2022 and beyond, right, user behavior shifted so much, and people start to value the connection they have with, the stores that they can trust. So this is something that you have to start looking into. We call it e-commerce branding. So how to build e-commerce branding is, one thing is if you can do email marketing, if you have all these, like resources in place, you can actually start building email marketing or SMS marketing, something that actually you can build a relationship with them by appearing constantly, kind of like building this connection with them to make sure that they remember you and that they will actually return and come back and buy from you more and more. Now, the other strategy you have here is actually through advertisement. Okay, once they bought, you can actually, like, for example, if you sell maybe like baby diapers, for example, or any baby products, you know that they will need to they will need to replenish the product from time to time. So we can actually run regularly, weekly, or even monthly kind of promotion to keep appearing, but with a controlled so-called frequency in front of these people who bought from you to increase the likelihood of them coming back and buy. So this is a very important strategy, because if applied correctly, you can actually get very, very big ROAS and very good conversion rate from these people, because remember, it's 7 times easier to sell to people who bought from you before than a stranger. So that's the first thing. So you need to actually have a strategy in place to target new customers, of course, but on the new customer side, you need to make sure that you apply exclusion, because if I've seen the ad, click on it, I will start seeing the retargeting ad, remember? Not the old customer, but the retargeting ad. So when I'm seeing the retargeting ad, I shouldn't be seeing the same broad targeting ad anymore. So the exclusion must be in place, all right? And then the retargeting has to be optimized for the duration. We remember every product has got its conversion window, meaning that when I click on your product, when I'm interested, I will be interested for a while. Let's say, the time I need to make decision is crucial for you to make sure, you got to make sure that you appear frequently in front of me when I'm considering, say, let's say 3 days, or 7 days. You got to make sure that you keep appearing. And after that, you don't want to show to me anymore, because I probably have bought or I lost the interest to buy. So these are all the things you actually have to build in place, like, more holistic strategy that you need to have in place. Okay, and then the other thing that I really want to highlight here is you actually should consider applying and testing different creatives, or so-called different ad format for your Cpas Facebook ads strategy right now, because one thing I observe is a lot of people are still using the instant experience or so-called the collection advertisement. I'm not saying that it's bad. Collection is good. Now, what is collection? That kind of ad that you have a video at the center or image at the center and some products at the bottom. Now, when they click, they will open up like a full page experience within Facebook itself, which is like on e-commerce, they call it collection. On general, we call it the instant experience, which is like a mini landing page. Now, a lot of people like this because it looks nice. But I want to tell you one thing here is it is also a friction, because based on our observation, okay, up to 50 to 60% of people actually drop out from here, which means they open up the instant experience, but they never click and go over to your Shopee store. To me, that's wasted traffic. You got to make sure to bring as many people to your Shopee store as possible. So that's the main goal. So I want you to dig into your numbers and analyze your Facebook ads data, okay, to find out whether are you having this issue of drop off. So if you have drop off, then you definitely have to consider changing your strategy, like probably trying different ad formats, such as, maybe you want to try using, single image, single video, or even carousel, especially for broad targeting, okay? Just to make sure that you send as many people to your Shopee store as possible, reducing the friction in between, okay? So that's something that you will actually want to consider. Now, the third thing I want to really highlight to you here is moving forward, like I mentioned to you just now, we're entering the era of e-commerce branding. In order to actually improve your lifetime value and your so-called your kind of like positioning, you need to start looking into branding perspective already. So when it comes to branding, e-commerce branding, first thing first is, of course, you need to maintain a very good customer service. That's the first thing. Second thing is you want to start looking for ways to actually nurture your audience, whether it's email marketing, SMS marketing, and stuff like that. Now, the other way, which is more effective way to nurture here, is actually through advertisement. So one thing we see giving us very good result when it comes to Cpas Facebook ad strategy is recently, we actually set aside a set of budget to actually run advertisement on customers, existing customers. So let's say we actually break our budget into 60, 20, 20, 60, 20 to do, the two-step funnel, top funnel, broad top of funnel acquisition and retargeting generally. The other one is actually to retarget your existing customers. Because this is a branding, because you can actually run advertisement with controlled frequency, which you don't want to show too much, but good frequency, good enough to make them remember you, okay, as a brand, as a seller, and at the same time, remind them about maybe replenishing your product, maybe actually buying more from you, or maybe even introduce new product or new launches and all that, which is, in a way, all these exposures are very good way for you to first keep in touch with your customers. Second, actually to build the kind of like brand awareness, top of mind brand awareness about your brand or your product, which will definitely benefit your customer lifetime value if you apply the strategy correctly. So this is what I want to quickly highlight to you when it comes to running Facebook ads, especially Cpas Facebook ads for your Shopee or Lazada store for 2022 and beyond. Because remember, you're entering a new era right now. Okay, after the pandemic, everything changed, and one of the most important things that changed was really the user behavior or the customer behavior. And you really need to actually adopt according to the shift of user behavior, because we can't do things that is no longer working. We just have to actually shift fast enough to make sure that we are able to catch up with the trend and to be able to leverage on all the opportunities that we have. But yet again, like I mentioned, I do talk about analyzing, using the data to help us understand what are the things that we have done right or wrong, and how can we actually get better results from our Facebook ads campaign. I'm offering this one-on-one Facebook ads audit at just $10. I'm doing this because I'm building my Fiverr account. So you scan this QR code, it will take you to Fiverr, which is a marketplace for freelancers and experts. You only need to pay $10 and you'll be able to get one session of 30 minutes one-on-one Facebook ads audit by me. We will go over your Facebook ads data and results. I will tell you, how to analyze and all that. I will analyze for you, and I'll give you a plan to improve your Facebook ads results. Okay, just $10. I usually charge $197 for this. You can actually go to my website. I'm still selling it at $97 with some discount over there. But this one on Fiverr, for very limited time only, you can get this at $10. So I I think this is the no-brainer. $10 is as good as you're only buying me a coffee. So if you have been enjoying my, my sharing, my, all this, my work, I think $10 is a good support that I can actually feel very good about this. Okay. But remember, this deal is not for long. Okay. I will take this down as, as soon as we hit the quota that we need to actually establish my Fiverr account as a expert one. So that's where we go. Okay. So, yep. I think that's 30 minutes. Okay. I don't see much questions coming up. And you guys, there are still people listening and watching. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, we do this every Wednesday. Oh, sorry, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Okay. So if you have any questions regarding Facebook advertising and digital marketing, just go to my YouTube channel and post on any videos. I will capture them and I will come over and answer them on Sunday night like this at 10 p.m. Okay. I prefer doing this because a lot of questions regarding Facebook advertising and digital marketing are best answered verbally. Okay. I don't want to actually go through all this texting and commenting stuff. It's not effective. So let's do this. All right. So with that, thank you so much for watching and listening. And I'll see you next week, same time at 10. Thanks. Good night. Bye.